Judy Morgan.
Hi, Marilyn. Guess I was a little late this morning. It's a dreary morning. Finally catching me live, is that because I'm late? For folks on the West Coast, this is tricky. 5 a.m.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back.
Where are the puppies? Good question. Hey, did Shani get to go out after breakfast? She's circling in the hallway.
No.
Well, that's where one of them is. Okay. Good morning. It's Monday. It's raining, drizzly, wet. But tomorrow it's supposed to be 69 degrees here. And then dropping down to 24. It's that time of year. Some of you saw, you're in Facebook jail again. Some of you saw on my personal page that we moved my pony Sonic yesterday. So the backstory on Sonic, how many years ago, honey? 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
At least, maybe 8. One of my Facebook friends posted a bunch of ponies down in Virginia that were in need of rescue. And the story was that it was an older couple that had bred these really good children's show ponies for upper level shows. And then they got into rescue and they got a bunch of donkeys and mules. And the husband died and the woman was in her 90s and they had 95 ponies, mules, horses, whatever, on all this land in Virginia, and they couldn't take care of them anymore. So they were going to send them all to auction. And a rescue in Southern Virginia found out about it and said, well, would you let us take them and find them good homes rather than send them to auction where they could end up as food? And the woman agreed to that. Well, the problem is the horses hadn't been handled in years. They were just basically feral out in this big acreage. And some of them weren't even halter broken yet. So we ended up, silly me, the ponies went for $100 each. And I didn't adopt them so that I could make money on them. I never make money on animals. I'm really good at losing money on animals. So I saw this pony named Penny, who was this beautiful little Welsh pony, just a beautiful head, obviously really high quality, well bred. And I said, okay, I'll take that one. I'll spend $100 on that. And the $100 included them getting them from the farm to the rescue and doing their Coggins test, which is a test for a disease called equine infectious anemia, which there is no treatment for, and you have to put them down if they're positive. So Penny had never had a halter on, had never been handled at all, but she's just a little sweetheart, so she was really docile, and they managed to do that. And then one by one, the ponies and mules and everybody were getting adopted, and there was this one left, this white mare, who we named Sonic. I forget what name she came with. I think that she was just white pony mare. Bigger than the other one, and actually a good size for me to be able to ride. And I said, okay, fine, I'll take that one too. And of course, Gwen was freaking out, going, we don't need more horses. What are you going to do with ponies? And I'm like, well, someday you're going to have little kids and blah, blah. So we brought them home. Sonic had been trained at one point, but hadn't had, I think she was 10 at the time when we did all this. And she had been trained when she was 5 and then nothing for 5 years. So we got it was a long story of trailers meeting in the middle of the night on the side of the highway to get those ponies up here, but we managed to do it. And they really didn't know anything. And I ended up sending them both to a good friend of mine who's a professional horse trainer. And so literally we invested tens of thousands of dollars in these ponies. But Sonic, both of them, Penny, we ended up selling to a good friend of mine who has a lesson program down in Cape May. And her name is now Sunny. And she has all these little 5- and 6-year-old girls who ride her and show her. And just really, really, really good. And so she has a lifelong home. Obviously, deal she could never sell her. And Sonic, she actually went to college with Gwen for the equestrian team for a year or two. And then we brought her back home. Sonic has an attitude problem. She landed Hugh in the hospital trying to kick his brains out. She was actually trying to kick Penny, but she was hitting Hugh. She has bitten Hugh big time hard in the chest. She's run him over. She has a big head and she uses it like a tackle to take you down. She has attitude issues, but she is now at the farm with the minis. So there we go. That's Sonic.
We hope she's at the farm.
We hope she's at the farm because our fencing was built for minis, and so it didn't look bad with the minis in it. But when we put her in, it's like, oh, that only comes up to like half chest height. If she really wants to get out, she's leaving. So we hope we still have Sonic at the farm. We'll find out in about a half hour. But yeah, that's the horse world. Money, money, money. So, but what I wanted to touch on with food intolerance this morning. So I talk in my books and in some blogs about the difference between food intolerance and food allergy. So with a food allergy, where they're truly allergic to something that they're eating, you'll get the swollen muzzle, swollen ears, breaking out in hives, itching, vomiting, diarrhea. That's a true allergic reaction to something. So if they have a true food allergy, that's what you're going to get. But a food intolerance just means they don't tolerate what they're eating very well. So it can cause vomiting or diarrhea or inappetence. And really interestingly, at our old house, our cats were allowed to go in and out as they wanted. And unfortunately, some of our neighbors put out what I call kitty crack. They were putting out cheap dry food, and Mittens and Buddha discovered that pretty quickly, and particularly Mittens would go gorge himself, and he gained a bunch of weight. Mittens is the one who now has a torn cruise ship because he's a fat tub of lard. So I was watching, and because they could go outside, those two cats in particular really wouldn't use the litter box. They would ask to go out, just like the dogs. They would go stand at the door, ask to go out, they'd go out and do their thing, and come back in, which is nice, not having to do the litter box. But I was outside one day, and Mittens went to the bathroom next to me, and he had just this liquid, explosive, nasty diarrhea. And I thought, okay, something's wrong with you. Tested a stool sample, nothing. Tested a second stool sample, nothing. No parasites. That would be my first guess. And then I thought, well, maybe you have a chicken intolerance or something. But I rotate proteins for my cats all the time, so it would be very difficult to figure out what might be causing the issue. Interestingly, since we've moved here and the cats are not going outside, they have their own bedroom that's set up with their cat trees and beds and big windows. Since they're not going outside, we have perfect poop. We have perfect poop. So Mitten's problem is not a food allergy, it's a food intolerance. He has a food intolerance to all the grains and crap that are in kitty crack. And since I wasn't the one putting the kitty crack out, I have no idea what ingredients were in there, but more than likely a lot of corn. But we have perfect kitty poop. So Teresa says, turkey allergy for Charlie, hives, red skin, endless itching. See, that is a true allergy. That's not an intolerance. Really, I mean, these cats using the litter boxes beautifully. In the past, they've been kind of sketchy about using litter boxes. Life is very mellow for them. They have no stress. They have no dogs making them crazy because they're in a room by themselves. We go in and play with them a few times a day, feed them, clean them. I even open and close their blinds, so their blinds are closed at night and all day. They have these floor-to-ceiling windows. This house is pretty cool. It's got floor-to-ceiling windows everywhere. And the cats have a 4-level cat tree that goes all the way up to the ceiling. So it's been really, really nice. So if you're getting chronic, really runny, nasty stools, you've got a food intolerance in there somewhere, and you got to figure out what that is. For people who are already feeding a raw diet, look at all the different ingredients, look at the proteins, find a novel protein, get it back to normal, then you can start testing one protein at a time to see what they can tolerate. Okay. All right, I gotta go to the barn, gotta go to the office. I thought I was retired. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, I think. See if I can...
Welcome.
Hey, well, you're getting the welcome instead of the closing, but my computer was actually doing it this morning.
It's gonna be a good day. What?
It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Every day's a good day. Husband's leg healing. It's a lot stronger, but he has an appointment with the orthopedist on Friday. Since we're meeting with the surgeon, what do you think they're gonna say? Need surgery! Molly Martin, I'm not sure that your dog needs an Allopril at this time. You've got some enlargement. I don't know. Have you seen a cardiologist? If you have a cardiologist, I'd see them. You can try just things like Formula CV with Hawthorne. That might give you a similar effect without the drug side effects. We have RX Vitamins Formula CV, which stands for cardiovascular, on the website. You might try that.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudy.com.
Debbie, yes, you can feed those things. It's not a complete meal, but if they tolerate all that, you can feed all that. Okay, have a great day.